So today's agenda is get to Muir Trail Ranch, but to do that we have to cross Evolution Creek. That's Evolution Creek. Kind of looks like Evolution Raging River to me. Crossing of the day, not even the hard one. Well, good morning and welcome to day 23 of my 30-day backpack adventure. Oh my God, yesterday. I'll tell you all about yesterday. If I'd have had the GoPro, I could have filmed the whole thing for you. It was just a wet nightmare. But right now, I've got Heather behind me. She's doing our first Evolution Creek crossing on logs. It's a little tricky, but it's not the worst ever. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be hiking together today. We're on our way to MTR. We have a lot of miles to cover today, either 11.7 or 12.6, depending on where we decide to camp. So we gotta hustle. I don't even know what time it is. I'm guessing it's 7:30 or 7:45. Okay, on we go. Everything is so wet this morning. Where's the sun? Come out wherever you are. This pretty trail, the little meadow. There's the sun. It's way over there. And there's Heather.
Hi.
Well, you know, my backpack is so old and it doesn't have enough pockets, so I always have to carry this, some kind of fanny pack. And it is nice to have everything right here in the front. Fanny pack. There we go. Oh, look at that. You can see that mountain over there. It's like there's a little pond over there and a rock and a big mountain. It's gonna be a day of meadows, I think. Hello, sunshine, I missed you. Okay, look at this glorious meadow. I don't know what it's called, I'll have to look it up. But it's beautiful. And that's Heather, my buddy for the day. Her trail name is Feisty, but she won't explain that. You can put your theories in the comments below. So this is Evolution Creek, they call it. Looks like a raging river to me. And this is what we have to cross up ahead. At mile 751, that's the crossing. But we talked to a hiker who'd come over it this morning. There's a meadow route, which is much more mellow. But I think you're up to your waist in water. Not good. The more risky crossing, which is usually, it can be risky. Anyways, at mile 751. But the girl we talked to this morning, she said that if you go on the little social trail to the left, like a little bit down from the trail, the actual trail, that there's a good place to cross and it should be decent. So, if we get there before it starts raining, we should be good to cross the normal crossing. And it's maybe knee-deep instead of waist-deep. So, that's the challenge for the day. No passes, just that. Check out this beautiful view. And way in the distance there, Feisty spotted a deer. Let's see if you can see it. Oh yeah. See that? That's it. This is as far as the camera goes. Okay, so yesterday I had to stop filming because I was walking down through the Evolution Basin and I got around Evolution Lake and it was really starting to rain, and then it started to hail, so I had to put the camera away. There was these peaks above Evolution Lake. I don't know the name of them, but they seemed to be the epicenter of this gathering storm. There was dark thunderclouds, there were lightning strikes. I saw multiple lightning strikes like on mountains not that far ahead of me. So I was essentially walking into the storm, but I was trying to actually get around Evolution Lake and down into the lower forested lands as quickly as possible so that I wouldn't have to worry about the lightning. I got about maybe 2/3 the way around Evolution Lake, and there was like a lightning strike right in front of me. I mean, like just on this hill right ahead of me. The hail started coming down. I just happened to see this rock. It was sort of like a big rock with an overhang that I could fit underneath. So I thought, well, I'll just go sit under that and shelter for a bit and wait for the worst of the storm to blow over. So I ran up into that rock, and I sat underneath. Oh, wait, there's the guy there. Hello.
Hiya, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
You're doing very good.
See, Ted, people are nice out on the trail, okay? It's okay out here. Anyway, so I'm sitting under this rock thinking how brilliant I am for finding it. And then it starts sort of dripping from the roof. It kept going on for a while, and there was a breeze that kicked up. So I'm thinking, God, I don't want to get too cold and wet here. So I pulled out my emergency blanket. That's the second time this trip that I've done that. Trade hands here. So I pulled out the emergency blanket, wrapped that around me, and I'm like, okay, I can wait this out for a little while. I mean, the thunder and the lightning strikes were all around me. And I was literally in the middle of the storm. Some of the drips escaped from the roof and they kind of go down in my shirt, so my shirt's getting a little damp. But then I kind of realized that like my bottom is getting really damp. Like I'm not sure why. And it turns out that I was sitting in some kind of drainage flow. So this water is like pouring basically down my pants, down my whole pant leg, totally soaking me. I mean, I'm getting dangerously soaked out here. So I see this couple walking by, you know, and it's like, I know I'm getting cold. I know I should be moving, but I'm like really afraid of being struck by lightning. I mean, I know the odds are slim, but it happens to people. So this couple's walking by and I'm like, hey, you're not worried about the lightning? And she's like, I'm more worried about hypothermia. And I thought, yeah, that's the thing to be worried about. So I said, right, I'm following you guys out. So I gathered up everything, put the Z-Rest back on. My fingers were so cold, like ice cold. I could barely get the straps back on, which was like a signal for me, like I gotta move. I was afraid that my walking sticks, my hiking poles would become like lightning rods. So I was afraid to use them. So basically I had one hand holding the poles sideways so they weren't to ground. And then the other hand was clutching the space blanket and actually getting, or emergency blanket, actually getting warmed up by the emergency blanket. Basically I just booked down the mountain like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I have never hiked so fast in my life. I was practically running down the mountain. And everywhere there was water. I mean, every creek was overflowing. The trail, there was like rivers on the trail. I mean, it was just water everywhere. I was basically soaked from the waist down, absolutely drenched, like I'd been in a lake. And from the waist up, pretty damp. So I was so afraid of hypothermia, I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep moving, I don't care what. And so I ran down the mountain, nearly tripped a couple times, got to past some sort of random campsites where there's some people. I was like, nah, this isn't far enough down. I want to go someplace where there's a campfire ring, because if somebody starts a fire, or if I'm able to start a fire, I can warm up. So that was my criteria. A campfire ring and a lot of people in case I needed help warming up. I got down to about mile 846. My goal was 847, but I got to 846 and Evolution Creek was raging because of all the rain. And it was raging so hard that I didn't see a way to cross without, I mean, I could wade through it. It'd be knee deep, but there was a lot of force in the water, so it wasn't an easy knee deep wade. And there was another girl there too who was kind of like studying it, and she was studying it for a while and she didn't really see a way to cross. So basically I decided, there's people here, there's a campfire ring, I'm freezing, I'm just gonna camp here. And so I did. I threw up that tent, you know, I got lucky, the rain stopped, so it wasn't just a few drips when I was putting up that tent. And then the sun came out. It was a miracle, the sun came out. So I was able to get out of all my wet clothes. I was so happy my tent was dry because I had taken the time to dry it at lunchtime. You know, even though it got rained on, it wasn't really that wet. So my tent was dry. the stuff inside my bag was all dry. So I had dry clothes to put on, and it was fantastic. And it was like, yes, she's going to live. So I even properly boiled my quinoa and had actually a delicious dinner of quinoa instead of a crunchy dinner of quinoa. So it all worked out. But I have never been in such a bad place in the wilderness as that. Wet to the core, rain everywhere. I mean, you know, it could have been ugly, but it didn't get ugly, thank God. Because here I am, and the sun is shining, and now we're looking forward to Evolution Creek crossing. Evolution Creek, there it is. Okay, tricky crossing. I think I'm gonna do the log. And what's this? A junction. Evolution Meadow. Yes, if the water level's high, go left. If the water level is normal, go right. So we've been told by this other hiker that it's okay to go right. So this is Evolution Meadow. Oop, and there's a big old marmot. Actually, there's a baby marmot. And look how beautiful it is. Wow, that's a big looking river. I'm sorry, creek. So here we are coming up on the Evolution Creek crossing. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Well, I see it's good for the horses here. Alright.
It's shallow over here.
Oh boy. Ooh, for a swim, anyone? That's right. She said, follow the social trail to the left. So this is the easy spot, eh? Oh my goodness, does it get easier over there? Alrighty. I guess this is it then. Alright, here's everybody reconfiguring everything to go across this ford. He's making it look not that bad, actually. It really is only knee deep. He's a tall guy.
Oh yeah, pants are coming up.
Okay.
I'm like, if it's his knees, that's like,
Yeah. Alright, there's Feisty going for it. She's doing it barefoot, so one step at a time. There you go, face the river. Yeah, face the river. Excellent. Oh my God. Right before she got in there, she's like, oh my God, it's so cold. Okay, yay, we made it. Feisty, way to go, girl. There's a lot of force in that river. Oh my God, now I gotta put my pants back on. That's all you get to see. Alright, so that's what you get swept into if you get swept down the river there. So be careful when you cross. On we go. Honestly, this so-called Evolution Creek is the same size as the Merced River in Yosemite Valley. Just saying. Oh, another wire gate. Feisty, you are the gate opener. Oh, this one's quite the puzzle. Oh, it pulls out of that slot. And then what? I guess you crawl underneath. This one's weird.
I guess crawl through there.
I'm not crawling through there. I'll get caught up. Oh, I think you have to oh, there's a fly on my glasses. Yeah, that's what you do.
There we go.
All right.
Figured it out.
Excellent. Pretty river, I'm sorry, creek on the right with flowers and the pretty trail and meadow up the hillside to these glorious rocks towering above. This trail is fantastic. Here are the clouds, they're coming back. Innocent looking, but here, look at this beautiful scenery. And waterfalls coming up. Wow. Oh my gosh. Woo! That's a lot of power. Dang. Alright. Trail won't hike itself. Gotta keep going. So down here is where Evolution Creek converges with something. I don't know if it's one of the forks of the San Joaquin River. Not sure. Have to check the map. But look at all this magnificent mountain scenery. I love it. The rocks are all different now. They're more slate and shale-like than granite. And there's a waterfall over there. I don't know if you saw it. Here. Pretty. This is a huge old pine tree. Look at those limbs. Look at the moss on these rocks. So interesting. And the view. Hello. The bridge. How civilized. Let's see. Got right down here. Creek up here. And there's Feisty! So, I just had a great little lunch at this junction / bridge over, I believe it's one of the middle forks, maybe it's the middle fork of the San Joaquin River. Not sure, still have to check the map. Anyway, Chris and Tara came by. It was awesome to see them again. Apparently, they were just a bit ahead of me in that storm yesterday. They had already gotten, I guess, down the hill a bit. But the hail came down so strong they had to take shelter in some little cave, like it was a crawl space, but it was big enough for the two of them, and they were able to stay dry in their cave. So they basically hung out in this cave for an hour and a half waiting for the worst of the storm to pass, and then they had was a nice campsite nearby, so they just ended up there. But apparently they saw me and the other couple that inspired me to get out from underneath my wet rock. They saw us running down the hill. So anyway, it was fun to catch up with them and get to know them a little bit better. And Feisty went on ahead because she just wants to, you know, get ahead of the game here with the rain, because look at what's in the sky again. Clouds are forming. So I was able to get my sleeping bag, not my sleeping bag, my tent and rain fly mostly dry. And so my bags are packed. And we have another 6.8 miles to Muir Trail Ranch to get our resupplies. Hopefully I won't get rained on too hard. Please wish for that I don't get rained on too hard. Even though by the time you see this, it will have already happened. It's the thought that counts. Okay. Oh, cool! A bridge! There's one side. And the other side. Mountains beyond. That puffy cloud. This has been a really interesting walk along this river. Scenery is changing all the time. And I've only been sprinkled on a couple times, so maybe we're leaving the bad weather behind. There's the bad weather back there. So goodbye, Kings Canyon National Park, and hello, John Muir Wilderness. Look at the size of this tree. It's huge. And the view isn't bad either. Look at the size of the bark on this tree. It's huge. And the trail goes on. Closing in on 11 miles. My feet are screaming. Alrighty. Selden Pass. Florence Lake. I believe this is also the way to Muir Trail Ranch. Almost to Muir Trail Ranch, and it's about to rain. I wasn't planning on going all the way, but I don't know, those campsites by the river, they didn't look quite right. Nobody was there. I figured I might as well just go all the way. Ooh, there's a sign. Blaney Hot Springs and Muir Trail Ranch to the left. Look at this view. Oh, it must be down there. I see galvanized roofs. Yay. Oh my God, there's a whole bunch of hikers. There it is. down there. Check out this cool round rock I found. I used it to pound my stakes into the ground. So, I made my little campsite. I'll put all my stuff in a minute. And there's a bunch of people around. This is toward the top of MTR, Muir Trail Ranch. Muir Trail Ranch is actually down over that hill there, but they don't want people camping because, you know, it's a dude ranch and the guests are looking to have peace and quiet instead of like campers in every bush and tree around them. So yeah, everybody's camped over here. And there's some hot springs nearby. I don't know if I'm going to check them out or not. They could be gross. I don't know. We'll see. And I thought I'd see Feisty here, but maybe she picked up her resupply and moved on. So, I don't know. Or maybe she's down the hill where I can't see her. Who knows? We'll see if I run into her again. But sometimes the trail is like that. You meet people, you hike with them, you're friends for a while, and then people move on. So, anyway, yeah. Here's my view. My tent. Check it out. So pretty. I just hope it doesn't rain. It's threatening to, but it may not actually rain. We're like on the edge of it. So, fingers crossed. I'd love to be dry for one night. Properly boiled. So greasy right now, it's like its own detangler.